Okay, next box. The yellow one or the small one? Let's go the yellow one. Oh. Got all kinds of names on this thing. Alright, let's see what we got in here. The yellow box. Fairly heavy. Not crankshaft heavy, but something in here. It's more than just a side cover. What do we got? This looks like a pair of cases to me. Pretty good packaging, I like that. Once again, decent packaging, so you always put something between the cases so you don't get damaged. Same as you have heads of cylinders. And then you got extra box material around, you got space for all to keep from falling over. And this little stuff here doesn't do much for protection, but it, keeps it clean. Yeah, it looks like it's a set of cases of some type. I'm not sure what. But if there's Evo, they're not studs on them. And if they're shovelhead, there's no studs either, so I don't know what they are. Alright, let's see what we got. They're heavy, so they're not 45. They're not generator. That makes them at least shovelhead. Yep, those are later models something. They're broken too. Got dowels right here, so they're Evo. And they're dirty too. So you got dowel pins right here. That makes them Evo. So you just take the studs out. So this has a broken alternator lip in here because the inner primary was loose. The front motor mount's been broken off and repaired. So this is definitely a quality piece. The VIN number's right here. So if you investigate that VIN number, you get a year. It's probably going to be in the 80s, being down over in this area, because 90s they stuck put them over here. So this is going to be later 80s, I'm guessing. We got an 84 main casting number, which pretty much covers everything. It's got a number 6 on top, so I don't know if that's 6 revision or means something else. There's some other numbers over here. 2987, so maybe it's means it's an 87, who knows. Unknown. I'd have to run the whole VIN number to tell for sure what it is. At this point I can't tell the difference because the left side's not that much difference in all the different years. But it doesn't appear to be any other damages besides just being bad. Now this race right here, oh I see more damage. Now this race right here, you feel to see if this is above the surface of here or below. If it is, it's been moving a little bit. This one is a little bit above, a couple thou. So that's not uncommon. So evidently, when they fix these holes right here that are all screwed up, right here, they do not help it any. That case has definitely got some issues with it. Not unrepairable issues, but it's got issues. So the primary's been really loose. You see how it's all eaten up and it's all real rough looking through here? That's because the primer's just eating back and forth. And that's also why this alternator lip is broken all the way off. So this is a 5/16 hole right here. It has a helicoil in it. This one over here, it's got a, looks like original 5/16 thread. This one over here has got a helicoil in it. And this one here is a helicoil 3/8 thread. See, it's a lot bigger than this one. That's 3/8 thread. So that's really bad. That's really bad. And the really bad part about it that you're not seeing yet is these holes are not supposed to go all the way through. When you can see through your whole case like that, that means you have a lot of oil pressure. Because this motor gets hundreds of pounds of pressure when the pistons go up and down high RPM, and that's pushing oil right out the side of your case over there. So that one's opened up, that one's opened up, that one has a pressure indent, and this one has a pressure indent with a crack in it. So when they fixed these things, they didn't stop at the bottom of the hole. They kept going deeper and deeper and drilled all the way through. That one they drilled all the way through. This one here they broke through. So they might not have drilled all the way through, but when they put a bolt in there, or if they ran the tap all the way down, they pushed it through. And then these two here, they pushed on them, but they didn't push all the way through, but they definitely went through. So these have to be welded up because you can't have any oil leakage going to the outside of the motor because it will cause lots and lots of problems. You can put a gasket right here to seal this up so your primary's sealed. But this one's pretty rough. It probably wouldn't even seal the gasket. You probably have to machine this thing flat again, and then that would put you a little bit below surface on your primary because you're going to be cutting 30 thou off of this, I bet. Like I said, once again, the alternator lip not being there is not a super bad, but obviously it's not good. But having these holes in there all the way through like that is really, really bad. And obviously this whole gasket surface here is all eaten up, is not good either. And then the motor mount's been repaired and not very flat. You can't have a flat surface to bolt to if you still got the weld mark in there. They never ground the weld off. They just bolted on the frame. That makes them break again when you do that because that's not very straight. And the back one, you can see how it's been loose too. See how it's been wobbling around a lot. Same deal, the surface all eaten up. That's because the motor's bouncing around the frame. So this would have been a really vibrating piece of crap bike. Definitely not a good case. Hope they didn't pay much for those because they're garbage. That one is anyway. So let's see what the other one looks like. If one's bad, they're both going to be bad. Alright, what do we got now? They didn't clean it, that's for sure. Okay, there's your theft recovery number right in here. So that'll trace you to your VIN number. Cam bearing hole looks good. The breather holes had a lot of crap run through it. That's what those plastic breathers do for you. They screw up your case. So that's a plastic breather. So the plastic gets the metal embedded from the bad crank and whatever else. And then it acts like a big lapping arbor and it eats up the whole damn hole. That's why I put steel breathers in there. Plastic ones suck. Plus the timing on those things is bad, and they're usually not very round, so they leak a lot of air too. So this appears to be okay on this side. It's a bottom breather, so it's 91 in the early case. This side of the case has been pretty loose too. It's pretty eaten up. This motor mount is loose also. Not as bad as the back ones, but loose. Dowel pins look okay. Oh, looks decent. No stripped holes on the decks, that's a plus. They'll crack through here when you over torque them because they're really thin. That's a tapered pipe thread when you put your fitting in there. So that's where the oil pressure center goes. So I see those cracked out there all the time. This one here, the holes look good also. Yeah. Case holes look good. Cylinder holes anyway. What do we got on this side? 87N. So that's going to be a 1987. What's that, an 816 looks like? So it's 87, really late in the year, so this would be an 88 bike. Could be a Softail or an FXR or an FL Turd, your choice. It used Harley oil in it exclusively because you can see all that gold in there. That's Harley oil. Not exactly the cleanest stuff in the world. It's worn but not eaten out, so the motor itself internally wasn't too bad. It's just what happened on the outside of the bike is where the problem is. So the maintenance on the motor is not very good on the keeping it tight in the frame, and that's probably why they broke the front motor mount off. Probably wasn't very flat, and they tightened it down too much and broke the damn thing. All this stuff is floating around loose in there, so that might have a lot to do with it also. The right case doesn't look too bad. I'm not really seeing all that much wrong with it. Their motor mounts need to be, cleaned up a little bit. Short of that, it's not too bad. Oh, it's got the steel insert still in the case, so that makes it. Harley got rid of that on 90, I think, maybe 89, because they couldn't keep these inserts tight in the case. And you can definitely catching that lip there, so it's definitely moving a little bit, but so that is not uncommon. So what you got to do is heat this case up to about 350 degrees, 400 max, and then you go in there and push up and down on this race to see if this is actually loose in the case. If it moves, it's loose. So when that happens, you can go in there. If it's like this where it gets tight when it's cold, go in there and get some of this capillary action Loctite, this wicking grade stuff here, and you find the highest holding power stuff we can get. So thread locker is not very good. Retaining compound is the good stuff, but you got to get wicking grade. And I don't know if they make a wicking grade and a retaining compound. I don't remember. I thought there's another tube around here somewhere missing, I think. I think they had one that did that. So, I don't know. This is a wicking grade here. It's good to 450, but I don't know what the holding power is on that. Yeah, this is probably, this is non-wicking. This is thick. So if you can get this stuff to go in there, it's 4,500 pound temp, so that's good. Red Loctite itself, I think, it's 13,000 psi, or 1,300, excuse me, and that's 4,500. So that's 3 times the holding power of that one, over 3 times, 3.5 times the holding power, that one over that one. So you want as much holding power as you can get. Just that goes bad at 355 degrees, but if your case is at 355 degrees, that's getting pretty warm. Alright, well there you go, set of Evo cases, 88 I'm guessing. And the right case is not too bad, the left case sucks. Now why did I buy a left case? Probably because I wanted to play around a little bit on my airplane motor. So I bought this shovel head case because it was cheap and it's obviously broken. So this one over here is not broken as bad. It's broken too, but not as bad, so I don't really care if I butcher something like this and has playing around material. So it gives me something to play with, so at least I got a motor mount to go off of, because I got to make this case here match up to this case. So it'll fit into a Harley frame like this motor down here does. So maybe that's what I was doing, I was buying it for that reason, because I know for a fact I didn't buy those cases for anything I wanted them for. And the VIN number was on that left case over there, so this is a good replacement case if somebody needs one. That's a good case. That piece of crap. Of course, that's the side I wanted to use, so there you go. You get what you get on eBay. Alright, that's it for that.